At the moment, there's nothing much to talk about right now with DC besides Supergirl failing and bringing up Man of Steel again, or any of the Snyder stuff right now. And this guy happens to bring up the Martha scene, and I never got to talk about the Martha scene. This guy is from the Geeky Cast. I've done videos on him before. He's weird. He goes like back and forth. It's kind of good though, because it's good. Sometimes he has like really bad takes. Sometimes it's decent takes. I don't remember him hating Supergirl. I remember him thinking, I think he said it was okay. I know he's like super into Snyderverse. A lot of videos I've seen him like put the poster in the background and stuff, and he's very pro. And he's gonna go on a little bit about Martha's scene and how it's brilliantly done. And I'm gonna try to see if I can poke some holes in it and make it seem more realistic what I was thinking. But we'll see.
The craziest part about the Snyderverse is that people really don't sit down and actually watch the movie, and they think scenes are bad. Let's take example, the Martha scene, and how it's actually a really great full circle moment for Ben Affleck's Batman. Let's get into it. The Martha scene is a lot more than just the, oh, they're brothers kind of moment.
So first of all, just before he gets all into it, it's okay criticizing it. It's fine. And I think anyone that, is a fan of movies or whatever should be able to do it. I don't want anyone to be these James Gunn, same thing. Snyder gatekeepers that say you can't have an opinion on it or anything like that. I've heard people defend it a million times. It's been, I think, like 10 years now. And it just popped up right now. And I was like, I've never got to spoke on this. There was a lot of things that I think people took away from this. Trust to reach to make it seem important when Zack Snyder, I think he had an idea what he was doing it, but he thought it was smart to go all off a coincidence. But yeah, I think we try to make this a lot bigger than it was. Not me, them.
Batman being able to fix what was taken from him as a child. As a child, he lost both of his parents in an alley. They were taken out right in front of him, and he was helpless. He then became angry. And on top of that, his adopted son, Dick Grayson, aka Robin, aka Nightwing, was taken to him by the Joker.
Now, let's just go to the Robin part for a minute. Thinking about Robin never came across, or the movie never made it clear. It made it clear enough that, his reason why he believed in the Martha thing is because he heard Martha and he thought about Robin. I don't think he remembered Robin in those moments. Maybe that's what he's saying and made him bad or whatever he was saying he is. He turned bad. Maybe that's why he thought about Robin. But nothing indicated us that he was thinking about Robin, like his son, Dick Grayson. And, he had things taken away from him. Like he realizes he still has a, like, for him, you trying to make him remember Robin because you're trying to say he has a chance to save another family is why he brought up Martha. And that is no way accurate or has ever been said, or Zack Snyder, even in a side interview, has never come out with. So reaching for Robin is very, very hard. And I'll let you go a little bit further.
He then put the tattoo of damage on his face and destroyed Batman, essentially, and left him mad and beaten, essentially. And once again, Batman became a monster, a creature of the night. He would take out people, he would brand them, and occasionally he would off some of them. Very rarely.
That's so Robin's like, he's not even part of this scene. You know what I mean? He never mentions Robin. He never connects Superman to Robin. Nothing in the scene is what's happening with what that happened. If audience needs interviews or fan theories to try to put this together, it clearly isn't part of what happened. It's not. You're just reaching very hard where your arms are almost hurting and coming off your shoulders because it's such a hard reach to connect Robin to this and to Martha's death. But, I'll let you carry on. Go ahead, sir.
But he would still do it. And the thing is this. In that Martha moment, he got to decide that he could actually save Martha. It's not the fact that they had the same name, but it's the fact that this alien creature from space that he thought was a monster was humanized. That he could do something good for somebody else and at the same time make Martha proud.
Well, this is everyone's strong element where it was a coincidence, but it worked as a coincidence, right? So does Batman not think he has anyone or Superman doesn't have anyone that lives in his life that loves him? Or he does have a mother and a father? Batman just puts that out of his head. Is that what's going on? He had to be reminded that he had, basically, Bruce was investigating everything on him. he never came across that his mom was Martha, first of all. Again, I don't know if we have side interviews or the extra scenes to let us know this, but I thought it was a given that he would already know that because he's, you know, the greatest detective. It's Batman, you know, we're going to expect that. He knows Clark lives among humans. You think he would assume he knows Lois exists. That was a big thing. So like, does hearing Martha suddenly make Batman go, oh no, he's got a family? Like, what if he just yelled out Sarah? If he yelled out Sarah, would Batman go like, screw it, I'm still gonna kill you anyways, I don't care? But you said Martha, you made me think of my mom. Like, oh man, this stuff is just like, if he said save my mother Sarah, we'll say that, save my mother Sarah, please, would Batman stop and go, your mother Sarah, I have a mother too? Or is it just a connection of him using the coincidence that his name is, or her name is Martha? Because you're saying is, oh, it's not about Martha, it's not about Martha, it's about a chance that Batman sees this and he had this taken away from him. So all he had to yell was, stop, save someone else, and Batman would have stopped. So that's the argument. That Batman would have said, okay, you told me to save someone, I'm gonna stop. Oh, no, he said Martha, and that stopped him in his tracks. He was like, wait, what did you say? And that made him wake up, but it wasn't about that, you said clearly that it was about him thinking about his family and remember his family because the Martha word got brought up. But everyone says, no, it doesn't have nothing to do with the Martha word. Clearly it does, and that's what Zack Snyder was intending it to be. And it's not that deep. It's not. So what, if Batman or Superman said, you gotta save Sarah, Batman's gonna say, fuck you, no, I'm gonna go kill you anyways? And on top of all that, we had, we had a long story, right? Of Batman spent that entire movie seeing Superman as the greatest threat on Earth. He was willing to murder him. Batman was ready to murder him. Mark him. He's ready to get done with it. And one word changed his feelings about everything. You're telling me this dude heard Martha and all that rage and anger went away? If anything, you think it would remind him about his mom was dead and said, and just start beating him up more? But you're telling me he connected with Robin, he connected with his past, he thought I could save someone else, he thought this, he thought that, and then he thought, oh, I'm gonna help you out now. After all that anger he had, that was such a coy move in the movie. It's not brilliant. It's not think about it, put it together. There's nothing to put together at all. And for years, Zach has been trying to explain this. I'm just gonna let you go. Now I'll get more into it. I don't want.
And in the end, after saving Martha, he essentially redeemed it. And when you think about it, he went from a hero to a vigilante to pure hatred, and then he built back around and became a hero again, forming the Justice League and creating the most unstoppable force able to protect the Earth against anything.
So you could have just done a scene like Superman simply says, please save my mother. Batman hesitates. Lois arrives. She says, you're going to let another innocent parent die. And now Batman sees exactly like, oh, what have I become? I became a monster, and doesn't think about, because there's consequence, or he doesn't think it's a coincidence, but there's consequences to this, and he may lose his mom like I lost my mom, and it mirrors him more or something. It sounds stupid, but you could have done it easier, use the same theme, but all you had to do is him say Martha, and then Lois comes in and explains, like Lois is like, Martha's his mom, and you need to save her. Maybe he will think a little bit. I still don't think Batman, in actuality of the story, how you built him and how he was created and how he was done in this movie, would stop to not kill him, because it works all the other ways. Like, stop, that lady over there is gonna die. He's like, Batman's just gonna let him die? Well, since he said Martha, it's cool. I'm gonna go save her. But no, because it said Martha, it triggered him somehow because it made me think of his mom, and he wouldn't have saved anyone else. If he said a different name, he wouldn't have saved anyone. That sounds like a shitty ass Batman, to be honest with you. And he was hell-bent on killing Superman. This whole movie, hell-bent. But he brings up your mom, and you're like, dude, you're cool. You're all right. I ain't tripping, dog. Your mom's got my mom's name. We're good. We good. Nah, come on. Quit trying to break this down. Quit trying to make it work. again, I made videos about how like people, you don't have to hate a movie, you know, you could just dislike it. And I just like this movie. It's not good. I don't hate them. I don't wish ill will on Zack Snyder. Henry Cavill, I think, is a great actor. Ben Affleck, I have a whole video coming out about that. But for overall, it's like, just stop reaching. Just stop. You're trying to connect these things, and it's like, it's been so over, but it's relevant now for me because it's 2 days after you posted it. So this popped in your head. I haven't thought about Martha in forever until someone brings it up. I try to dry erase that out of my head, but someone keeps writing back with a permanent marker and it won't get off. There's other ways they could have done it if they wanted to have that connection. I already saw too many flaws in the movie as is. But yeah, for the most part, the things here, what we're trying to do is make the scene memorable, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it like an emotional moment, but it's not having any explanations behind it. It's like you have to explain it after the movie, kind of thing. Because you go about it like you didn't get emotional in that moment. No one, everyone's like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" Like it just didn't make sense. I'll let you talk a little more, then I'll have to wrap this up because there's not much more to say, but proving this theory to be crazy, wrong, and reaching.
And then he even brought back Superman. Batman had a full circle moment that was beautifully done when he actually got to control the situation in a situation that when he was a child, he had no control over. That's writing.
WNBA is still happening. And
that's not writing, sir. That's poor writing. And I'll tell you why it's poor writing. So it's been over years this has been the debate. Great writing you don't debate over. You know, people don't argue about The Godfather. They might argue which one's better than the other, but great writing you don't. Bringing Ben Affleck into this, Good Will Hunting. You don't argue about Good Will Hunting writing. You just know. It's a well-written movie. Brilliantly written movie. You don't argue about that. You don't have to explain about that. You don't have to ask the directors about that, which I think what they were, right? Something like that. They at least screenwrote it. They didn't have to do side interviews and explain things about how, this scene was a little confusing. I tried to make it relate to this, make that for years. 10 years. Zack Snyder has been explaining this over and over. Fans have expanded on it. But my question is, should audiences need interviews, podcasts, Reddit discussions, this guy right here for emotional climax to explain it and to make it where everyone understands this thing? Like, we need all this, and it's such a big moment. But literally, we have arguments on it about on podcasts. We have it talked about in every kinds of medium, and let alone this guy's bringing it up. You know, we're 2026 right now. And he's trying to explain how brilliantly it was done. He must have just watched it or something. I won't knock him down saying like, oh, he's been thinking about it forever. He might have just put it on or something like that. If viewers were confused and you're saying you're not, that's fine. Many fans were fans. They didn't quite put it together, and Zach even explained it differently than what people thought they were thinking. People thought different things, and then Zach was like, no, he did a million interviews about it, and he really thought he had something solid. Even I think recently he did another interview about it. It just, he won't let the horse just get beaten, you know? It's just a dead horse getting beat all over again. But, you know, if you're leaving anyone confused, even like non-fans, like, there's some things that, you know, I could say, oh, Wonder Woman showing up was stupid, you know, Batman vs. Superman. But you're like, no, that's not. It's part of this, blah, blah, blah. And okay, that's a decent argument. And with this, it's something that people bring up, like, yeah, I don't, you know, even like the fans of the movie, let's say, they didn't like Wonder Woman showing up. And you're like, well, I liked her because this came up and this did this and this and that. And then another guy that liked it goes, I kind of liked it, but that ending was confused or whatever. And someone's like, no, you don't get it. It's like this. Problem is, if someone's confused about a scene, it's a storytelling problem. It's a writing problem. And he said this is story writing at its finest. There wouldn't be no confusion. There wouldn't be people debating it because there would be nothing to debate. It would be out there. It was a silly idea he had. Decided, hey, both their names are Martha. This would be a cool idea to get him to stop in his tracks. It has nothing to do with Robin. It has nothing to do think about his childhood. Nothing. It was just to make a coincidence for him to stop fighting. They could have filmed it differently. They could have wrote it differently to make it work. Stop, everybody. With the Martha theories, again, there's a reason why everybody has theories. Because no one fucking gets it. No one gets it. It's dumb. And for people outside of the box, like myself, I'm no better than you. But I can see the writing on the wall. This was nothing serious. This was an emotional moment. People, tears didn't well up at this moment. There was no build up to this moment where we were like, oh man, this hits us hard because they had a deep scene talking about their moms or some shit. Man, it's just, people make so much out of certain movies, and once everyone doesn't like it, everyone comes up with their own theories. And I can't be like, oh, this guy, he's right, he's got it going. No, it sounds stupid. And other people have done it. It sounds stupid. And I'm sitting here bouncing off it. You could say mine sounds stupid, but I'm clarifying literally what's going on. Everybody has their own theories. That's the problem. It's not clear as day. People have to figure this shit out. Zack Snyder has to explain it in every interview, and it changes somewhat in every interview. What Zack Snyder's saying. So you shouldn't have to watch a movie and get cliff notes afterwards to understand the scene. So for him, he said he had to, he watched it, and you know what got me thinking? You should have been thinking this during the movie. You shouldn't have been like, afterwards, I started thinking, this argument should have happened years ago that you're defending it, not today. You know what I mean? I shouldn't be hearing about it still. I shouldn't be hearing about Martha, all right? Again, it makes a lot of things look stupid. It makes Batman look dumb. It makes Superman look dumb. It makes Zack Snyder looking dumb. And it looks like it makes people that are defending it look dumb. You don't want to do that. Just say, Zack Snyder had a plan. It didn't go off as he wanted to. I see his intentions. He's not dumb. He had intentions, but he dropped the ball. He dropped the ball, and this was a scene that wasn't written good at all. There's a lot of scenes that weren't written good, but that's fine. You can admit that this scene wasn't written well when people are fighting that this is poetry. It's so far from it. He found a coincidence, and he went with it. Cool. Leave it at that. It sounds stupid to most people. Like in the middle of a fight, someone says your mom's name, and you're like, oh, that's my mom's name too. You're going to stop? Oh, she's about to die? Shouldn't I stop anyways? If your mom wasn't my mom's name and go save somebody? Like, oh no, because he has a traumatic past and he lost Robin. What the fuck does Robin got to do with anything? You think he's thinking about Robin in the middle of this fight? They made no connections at all with Robin. Zack Snyder has never made connections at all with Robin. Zack Snyder's never made connections without being his past, and he's lost parents. No, it's nothing like that. He never said that. He made it like it was something like they shared or something like that, that they both had a mom named Martha, something like that. It was nothing like what this guy's saying. Nothing. It's just upsetting. I still got to hear about this shit. Oh man, I don't know. I hope to God people get on board with some kind of DC thing. I know Gunn's having a rough time. I mean, it's not going great, but I want something DC to work so everyone else will drop everything and just go back to criticizing movies the way we normally do. Not reaching for the stars on these things. They're pretty clear as day. Quit making your own metaphors for it. Quit making your own reasons for it. This is what it is, all right? It was a dumb scene. It wasn't brilliantly done. He thought it was clever, and then no one got it. And the people that said they got it for the wrong reasons. They didn't understand it. And afterwards, he had to explain it in interview after interview after interview. He had to keep explaining this. He had to keep explaining. It wasn't understood. How do you not get it? Professional writers, interviewers, other directors, other actors, they went out of their way to ask him about the scene because they didn't understand. You're telling me all these people in the industry that knew it came up all the time with people were that dumb? You can't tell me everybody's that dumb. Now, can I tell you a lot of people are brainwashed by these movies? Sometimes, yeah, it's sad. A lot of people see no harm in these movies. Like they could do no wrong. My favorite movies, like let's say Endgame's like one of the funniest movies I've been to. You know, it's up there with, there's a couple others, but let's just say Endgame. I've had a lot of fun watching Endgame. It's super nostalgia, connects everything from all the years ago. Is there flaws in that? Hell yeah. There are so many things that happened wrong in that movie. Things that shouldn't have happened. Things that I wish didn't happen. I was even pissed at the ending of it. Now it looks like they're trying to fix what I was pissed off about, and it was stupid. But I'm not going to sit there and act like my shit don't stink. It's okay to be like, hey, this movie's not perfect. And most importantly, this scene isn't perfect. Oh man, if you point out a scene to me and be like, why does everyone love this scene? Let's go to Endgame. Why does everyone like that Captain America picked up the hammer? It speaks for itself. We know what the hammer means. Mjolnir. We know what Mjolnir means. All right, if you followed the comics, just like people would have to follow the comics to know both their names are Martha. And if you watch all the movies, you know what Mjolnir means to Thor, to the universe. When Vision picked it up, wow, this guy must be worthy. We could trust him. And Cap almost moving it one time. It's a very important thing. And when he picks it up, whoa, we have a huge moment. So you could try to argue with me about that and be like, hey, I don't get it. Why are people like this? Why they understand it? Because it made sense. It worked out. No one was lost. Not one person in the theater. Even if they hated the movie, they hate Marvel, they hate hammers, they understood the excitement. They got it. The Russos didn't have to do side interviews to explain it. Now, they did have to do side interviews for other things, and I agree. They shouldn't have had to do that. How Ebony Maw got all them there without having Pym particles to do it makes no fucking sense. No sense. No sense at all. And then outside, Russos were like, you figure Ebony Maw's smart and you probably figured it out. That's stupid. Don't tell me stuff that happens off camera. Like, you should let me know. Or make it a way where it gets summed up somewhere. All you have to do is have a character literally talk about it and it gets summed up. So no, things aren't perfect and we can admit it. We can be okay. Everything's gonna be all right with your sweet little Batman or Superman, I promise. You can enjoy it, but just don't quit. Just quit pushing these lies on people, telling us what they mean when they don't. Again, find a movie where people all love a scene and I'll go over it with you and I'll explain why people all love that scene, why it was written well, why it got built up. If a scene that's duty and not everyone loves it, no, I can't defend that. Because you're like, oh, everyone likes this part, and I'm like, not everybody. I think that's stupid, or whatever. I'll if it's like a good scene, I'm like, yeah, you're dumb. This is why. This A, B, and C led up to this. You're trying to connect Robin, his past, the fact that his mom, that just everything. Him thinking about saving another family. None of this happened. None of this happened. That's all I can say. This stuff gets tiring, but it's fun. It's fun to hear it out and have. This is what it's for, debating and hearing people out and putting your opinion out there. But this is a debate that I would not lose with the crowd unless there's a bunch of Snyder fans in it. Pure moviegoers, comic book fans, it's easy as day to say this was not the greatest scene. It was not done well. It's not poetry. It's not brilliantly done. Zack Snyder's still explaining it till this day. If it was brilliant, he wouldn't be explaining anything. We'd all just be getting it tattooed on our arm. So, give me the head of Thanos.